Last night, Real Time with Bill Maher was the stage for an explosive political showdown when Bill Maher dramatically kicked Representative Jasmine Crockett off the set following a fiery debate. The moment was nothing short of shocking, sending the audience into a frenzy and sparking a whirlwind of reactions on social media. The conflict began innocently enough, with Crockett defending her bold policy stance in a panel discussion. However, Maher's probing questions quickly escalated the tension. His sharp remarks clashed with Crockett's unwavering commitment to her beliefs, transforming a routine debate into a viral spectacle. Before we dive deeper into the story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Crockett, known for her fiery rhetoric and unapologetic stance, entered with a commanding presence. But Maher, not one to shy away from confrontation, quickly challenged her. "Your policy is bold, but is it practical?" The remark landed hard, and the air in the room thickened with anticipation. Crockett, calm and resolute, shot back, "Practical? I'm here for the people, Bill. Let's dive in." And with that, the tension erupted, leading to Maher's decision to remove her from the set, setting the stage for an unforgettable viral moment. On Real Time with Bill Maher, the air grew thick with tension last night when Maher dismissed Representative Jasmine Crockett's political stance, calling it idealistic and unrealistic. But Crockett wasn't deterred. "Unrealistic? I'm grounded in their struggles, Bill. Your framing is off," she retorted with poise and conviction. The audience reacted, some gasped, others cheered, while a few filmed discreetly, sensing a pivotal moment unfolding. Maher, irritated, fired back. "Off? You're dodging, Jasmine." The confrontation took a sharp turn as Maher's dismissive tone rang out. "This isn't your soapbox," he snapped. The crowd split in response, some clapping, others bracing themselves for what would come next. Behind the scenes, stagehands were on edge as the situation was spiraling fast. Sources suggest the intensity of the moment wasn't lost on anyone in the room, with emotions surging as Maher's provocations clashed with Crockett's unwavering stance. It wasn't just the ejection that made this moment explosive, it was how rapidly it escalated. Crockett, now leaning in with unyielding focus, responded coolly, "Soapbox? I'm speaking truth, Bill, not your punchline." The room held its breath as Maher shot back with authority. "Truth? You're derailing the show, Jasmine. Time to go." The audience's energy was electric, some shouting while others leaned forward to catch every word. The confrontation had only just begun, and it was clear this was no ordinary moment. It was one that would set the internet ablaze. "Punchline, Bill? Your cynicism ignores the very fight I'm having for the people," Crockett shot back, unwavering as Maher criticized her policy proposal. The room reacted, some cheered, others murmured, while Maher's smirk grew. "Dismisses? You're grandstanding, Jasmine. This is my show." Maher's retort cut through the tension, drawing mixed gasps and applause. Crockett didn't flinch. "Grandstanding? I'm exposing your bias, Bill. I'm ready for this," she responded boldly. Her words sparked a ripple of energy in the audience, some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine." Stagehands braced as the confrontation escalated. Maher's voice sharpened, his authority growing. "Prepared? You're out of line, Jasmine. Time to go," he commanded, his words aimed to cut deep. Maher leaned forward, his tone even colder. "Out of line? You're making this a circus, Jasmine. Leave the stage," he ordered, his voice heavy with finality. Crockett, eyes blazing, shot back. "Circus? You mocked my truth, Bill. I will stand." The room split, some chanting in her favor, others stunned by the rawness of the exchange. Phones lit up as the crowd's energy surged, and Crockett's grip on the table tightened. "Stand your dismissals. Shaky, Bill? I'll make my case," she said, her resolve unwavering. Maher's final words hit hard. "Make? You're a guest, Jasmine, not the host. You're done." The audience roared, some standing in approval, others whispering in disbelief. Stagehands waved, trying to regain control, but Crockett stood firm. "Out? I'm your challenge, Bill. You're underestimating me," she declared, her voice ringing clear and unbroken. Crockett's intensity only grew, and with it, the room's palpable tension. Insiders could feel the pressure mounting. Maher's authority was starting to crack under the weight of her resolve. The night was quickly charging toward an unforgettable climax. Crockett, with her fiery resolve, stood firm against Maher's attempt to eject her, turning the panel discussion into an unforgettable test of wills that had the audience riveted. Sources indicated that Maher, who was known for his strong control over the show, was now facing an unexpected challenge. "I'm your challenge. You're underestimating me," Crockett boldly proclaimed, her defiance rising to meet Maher's increasingly harsh demands. The moment quickly transformed into a spectacle that would dominate conversations for days. Maher, unwavering, dismissed her response. "Challenge, Jasmine? You're nothing but disruptive. Your arguments are weak," he countered, belittling her defense of her policy proposal. The audience's reaction was swift. Some cheered, others murmured in disbelief. Crockett, her eyes blazing with conviction, retorted, "Weak? My case is grounded in truth, Bill. You're the one off track." Her voice rang out, clear and unwavering, as the crowd's energy surged. The cheers mixed with gasps, the atmosphere crackling with intensity. Maher, unable to regain control, pressed harder. "Off track? You're hijacking my show, Jasmine. You're no match for reason," he snapped. But Crockett, her voice filled with passion, shot back. "Reason? I'm exposing your cynicism, Bill. I'll stand my ground." The crowd's division deepened, with some shouting their support for Crockett and others filming the exchange. Maher's glare intensified, and he issued his final command. "Hold it! You're a guest here, Jasmine. I run this stage." The crowd's reaction was deafening, some roaring in support, others whispering as the moment reached its peak. As the exchange between Crockett and Maher grew fiercer, the crowd was electrified. "Crockett's fearless," some whispered, their voices filled with admiration as the tension in the room reached a boiling point. But what truly turned the exchange into a wildfire was Crockett's unflinching conviction. Sources say she leaned in, her voice firm as she addressed Maher. "Run. Your mockery dismisses my fight, Bill. I'll prove my cause." Her tone was a direct challenge, filled with unwavering resolve. Maher, now visibly frustrated, responded with a strained dismissal. "Prove? You're just a politician, Jasmine. Your ideas don't land." The audience reacted instantly, some clapping, others shouting, as clips of the heated exchange quickly circulated online. Crockett, without hesitation, retorted, "Don't land? My truth cuts deep, Bill. Brace yourself." Her voice, calm yet powerful, set the stage ablaze, turning the set into a cauldron of raw emotion. Stagehands scrambled to control the growing chaos, but Crockett remained unshaken. "Your stage can't silence me, Bill. My cause is just," she declared, her gestures bold and filled with defiance. Maher, struggling to regain control, shot back, "Just? You're grandstanding, Jasmine. You're done." His tone was final, but the audience wasn't ready to back down. Crockett, her voice unwavering, responded, "Done? I'm just getting started, Bill." The night surged toward a heart-pounding climax, with insiders noting the palpable shift in power. Maher's authority, once so solid, was now being pushed to its limits. As the clash reached its peak, Crockett's defiant stand had turned the debate into a viral spectacle, shaking the studio and dominating the internet. As the debate grew increasingly heated, Crockett's voice rang out, trembling but filled with resolve. "Silence me, Bill. My fight is for the voiceless. Your cynicism betrays them." She connected her proposal to the real struggles of marginalized communities, shining a spotlight on their desperate need for advocacy. Her words, raw and unapologetic, struck the heart of the matter. The audience responded fiercely, emotions running high. Some cried, others cheered, while Maher's earlier smirk began to fade. "Voiceless, you're a guest here, Jasmine, not their martyr," Maher replied, his tone faltering in the face of her conviction. The room buzzed with emotion as stagehands struggled to maintain control, the crowd swelling in intensity. Maher's attempt to regain order fell flat. "Martyr, you're derailing my show, Jasmine. I'll keep order," he insisted, but Crockett stood firm. "Order? I carry their pain, Bill. Your mockery can't bury my truth," she declared, her voice quivering with emotion. The audience's roar was deafening as some chanted, "Jasmine, Jasmine," while others whispered in disbelief, "She's moving him." The viral moment had arrived. Maher's response, once authoritative, now lacked conviction. "Truth? You're grandstanding, Jasmine. You're done," he said, but the crowd's shift was unmistakable. Some shouted, "Crockett's winning," and others murmured, "Maher's the host." The studio was alive with energy, and insiders noted that Crockett stood taller than ever. "My cause is their hope, Bill. Their cries echo in me," Crockett said, her voice soaring as she spoke with searing clarity about the systemic inequities that had shaped her fight. Maher, visibly rattled, muttered, "Hope? You're passionate, Jasmine." His voice was barely audible over the audience's uproar. The crowd stood, some filming, others crying, as the viral moment exploded across the internet. Crockett's plea was heard by millions, her passion unstoppable as it racked up shares and likes. Her voice was now the rallying cry for so many, and the moment would forever be etched in the public's memory as a symbol of unwavering conviction. Sources say Maher, gripped by the intensity of the moment, clenched the desk. "Voice? You've challenged this stage, Jasmine," he said, his tone a blend of respect and hesitation. But Crockett, unwavering, retorted, "Challenged? I'm their justice, Bill. Rethink your ejection." The crowd's response was instantaneous, with some rushing the aisles chanting Jasmine's truth, while others roared in applause. Maher paused, visibly shaken. "You're heard," he muttered, his voice trailing off. The insiders were whispering, "She's shaking him." The studio, once filled with tension, was now bracing for a moment that would reshape the night. Crockett's unrelenting advocacy had transformed the atmosphere, leaving Maher's control slipping away. Her vow, "I'm their justice. Rethink your ejection," was a pivotal moment, marking the shift toward her bold move, a gesture that would quiet the entire studio. With conviction, Crockett took her stand. "Rethink, Bill. I'll show you their truth." Standing tall, she pulled out a tablet displaying a montage of videos from her constituents. "These are their voices. Mock them," she challenged. The audience's reaction was a mix of cheers and sobs, while Maher's face betrayed shock. "Jasmine, this is a talk show. Sit down," he urged, his voice shaky with disbelief. The crowd surged, while stagehands stood motionless. The energy in the room was electric. Crockett pushed forward, unwavering. "Sit. Their pain is real, Bill. Your cynicism dismissed it," she declared, her words piercing the tension in the air. As she played the video, the voices of those who had been ignored filled the room, amplifying the heart of her cause. The audience erupted, some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine, what?" while others whispered in awe, "She's unstoppable." The phones were out, and the posts exploded across the internet. Maher, visibly shaken by the moment, responded with a softer tone. "You've made your point, Jasmine." "I'm listening," he said, his voice now low and contemplative. The crowd cheered, some shouting, "Crockett's winning," while others murmured in disbelief at Maher's hesitation. The stage was set for a transformative moment. Insiders reported that Crockett stood resolute, her conviction unshaken. "Their hope demands respect, Bill, not mockery," she stated, her voice a perfect blend of defiance and empathy. Maher, conceding, replied, "Your actions are bold, Jasmine." This stage sees it. The audience surged with energy, some filming, others crying. Crockett's words went viral, capturing the hearts of millions. Maher nodded slowly. "I'm reconsidering, Jasmine. Your points are clear," he said, a shift in his tone that indicated her impact. The studio was alive with the energy of the moment. Maher looked at the screen, finally acknowledging her. "Clear. You've disrupted this show, Jasmine," he said, his voice now filled with respect. Crockett, unshaken, responded firmly, "I've amplified their voices, Bill. Their trust demands it." The audience erupted, some rushing to the aisles, others chanting, "Jasmine's fire!" Maher exhaled, acknowledging the moment. "You've spoken. I'm reflecting," he said. Crockett's voice rang clear as Maher faltered under her unrelenting force. "She's floored him," insiders whispered, sensing the pivot in the air. The evening's events hurtled toward an unexpected resolution, one that would be remembered as a stunning triumph. Crockett's bold actions, driven by unwavering belief, left the studio breathless. Real-time became a showcase of strength, as Bill Maher, caught off guard by her conviction, acknowledged her shocking move. The internet buzzed with Crockett's message. "I've amplified their voices. Their trust demands it." Maher, visibly moved, reversed his earlier decision. "You've spoken," he said, his voice now laden with respect. "I'm reflecting." The shift in tone was palpable, marking the beginning of Crockett's ascent. The audience, captivated by the turn of events, cheered and cried in equal measure. Maher, acknowledging her strength, declared, "Your actions are powerful, Jasmine. You're staying." Crockett, her presence undeniable, stood tall, a beacon of unwavering determination. "Thank you, Bill," she replied, her voice steady. Their voices prevailed. The crowd surged with energy, chanting her name as the studio fell into a reverent silence. Stagehands, frozen in awe, watched as Crockett's moment of triumph unfolded before their eyes. She was unshaken, her conviction a force that could not be ignored. "Prevailed. Their hope fuels my fight, Bill. I carry it," she declared, tying her proposal to the struggles of her community. Maher, his voice softened with newfound respect, nodded. "Jasmine, you've made your case." The moment went viral in real time, the internet lighting up with clips of Crockett's victory. Maher's concession was swift. "Let's move forward, Jasmine." The room pulsed with energy, her victory complete. As Crockett returned to her seat, her final words echoed through the studio. "I stood for them." Her voice, calm but full of resolve, cut through the buzzing chaos as aides carefully escorted her through the throng of reporters. Maher, sensing the weight of the moment, transitioned to the next segment with a reflective tone, muttering, "That was something." The crowd continued to cheer, some filming, others chanting. Justice served, as security monitored the exits, ensuring the peace after such a charged moment, but the aftermath erupted online. X exploded, one tweet declaring, "Crockett stuns Maher," as the viral conversation unfolded. Crockett's tweet about "their voices prevailed" quickly amassed 700,000 likes, while replies poured in from around the globe. As the hours passed, TikTok and Instagram flooded with clips, memes, and viral videos, all painting Crockett as an unstoppable force. The clash left a mark on both media and the public. Crockett's message had elevated her influence to unprecedented heights, while Maher's concession sparked heated debates. Some praised Maher for his humility in the face of defeat, while others argued that Crockett had forced his hand. Regardless of the opinion, the cultural impact of this moment could not be ignored. The narrative had shifted, and what followed would likely be a new era for talk show confrontations. The public remained split, with half cheering for Crockett's unrelenting stance, while others admired Maher for showing grace. But regardless of who won the debate, this showdown would change how future confrontations played out. The aftershocks of Crockett's stunning display continued to reshape public discourse, as her aura blazed through the digital realm. Sources say she exited the studio with a poise that seemed to electrify the air around her. "I stood for them," she whispered, her voice steady, as aides shielded her from the frenzy of reporters. Meanwhile, the audience lingered, and X was exploding with reactions. Crockett's tweet, "Voices break barriers," skyrocketed to 900,000 likes within hours, flooding with replies from supporters and detractors alike. Clips of Maher's concession looped endlessly across social media, and memes capturing Crockett's radiant gesture flooded TikTok and Instagram. Critics tried to downplay her moment, but the digital tide was unstoppable. Maher's response, subdued in comparison, became the subject of intense scrutiny. Sources revealed that his next monologue was notably softer, his earlier concession casting a long shadow over his hosting persona. Was his retraction a sign of humility, or had Crockett forced his hand? The media was divided, but one thing was clear. Crockett had redefined the game. The viral aftermath solidified Crockett's brand, her political influence soaring as debates raged online. Some praised Maher for his grace, while others celebrated Crockett for her unapologetic drive. Whatever the verdict, the cultural ramifications of this clash were seismic. The media landscape would never be the same, and the spotlight on Crockett was only growing brighter.